Hello everyone, it's Monday, May 3rd, 2021. Temperature is 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, and the time is around 2:34 p.m. So I'm going to be taking a walk along Broadway from the Times Square area all the way to South Ferry. I think the last time I did a walk of Broadway from any kind of length from Times Square was back in April of last year. So it's been almost a whole year since I've made a new one. But let's see what's changed in the time that I've done it. Here's 49th Street and 7th Avenue. I'm just 2 blocks away from Times Square now. The city is slowly coming back to life. More people are out and about. The weather's warming up. And as of July 4th, pretty much the entire city is going to be reopened with the exception of the performing arts, especially Broadway theaters. Here we have Christmas in New York, which doesn't seem to be open right now. Here's big bus tours. Good to see that they're still operating here. Looks like there's some construction happening here. But even Times Square, from the last time I made a video along Broadway, might have been in April 2020, which I did this similar walk. There's been a lot of changes. Just coming up on Times Square now, here we have the TSX Broadway, which is going to be a luxury building. I think there's also going to be like an infinity pool over here and like some other cool amenities. But don't quote me on that, you got to visit their website. I just know it's going to change the area once it's built. 47th Street. The tickets booth is still closed as Broadway is waiting to reopen in September. Crazy to think that Broadway is still closed since March of 2020. Sounds like they got some live music now here in Times Square. Oh, that's not live music. No, wait, it is. There's an actual DJ playing music here. Well, that's pretty cool. That must have been recent because I didn't notice that before. Every time I come by Times Square, I'm always impressed looking at all the billboards, seeing what's changed. By the way, that low humming you hear comes from an art installation below me. People walk over it all the time and don't really know what it is. It's great that the city decided to turn this part of Times Square into a pedestrian plaza. At one point there was cars coming from both sides. Got the star of Times Square, the naked cowboy. Let's cross over this way. Times Square can get a lot more busy later on in the day. Right now, a lot of people still at work. No thanks, man. They've got Old Navy. Old Navy actually looks like it's locked up now. So this is no longer here. Here's the Paramount Hotel. We've got the Times Square busker playing music in the middle of Times Square on pots and pans. Here we've got the costume characters. People will approach them and they'll take pictures with the tourists, and in exchange they expect tips. I really wonder when they'll take down all the scaffolding here. Scaffolding is one of the things I don't really like about New York. It seems like it's everywhere and it won't go away. Here's a vacant storefront in Times Square. Crossing over 42nd Street now. To the left is Bryant Park, Grand Central Terminal, all the way at the end, United Nations. That way, Port Authority Bus Terminal on 8th Avenue. This subway entrance is closed. I think what's happening is the MTA is getting rid of one of the shuttle tracks and expanding the service over there. I've just entered the garment district. It's called the garment district because there's been a long history of garment workers and industry here. Fabrics, leather work, things of that nature. Another retail space available. This is nowhere near like 2 years ago in terms of the activity. I'm still noticing that it's going to be a long recovery for New York, despite the reopening plans. I think the most shocking area of New York City to see where the retail apocalypse, so to speak, is happening is around the 34th Street Herald Square area. When I get there in just a few blocks, you'll see what I mean. Ninth Street.
Are you ActionKid?
Yes, that's me.
Oh my God,
hey,
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Cool. Oh my God. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not your
Yeah,
your
no
thing.
problem.
Have a good one.
Take care. That's cool. I ran into someone here. This area between Times Square and Herald Square, I always felt like was a very quiet area. Another area for lease. I mean, the garment industry is not really here as much anymore. Here you might find some glimpses of it, but it's really a different time from what it once was. Oh, there's Madison Kaiser. I think they're opening over here. Famous Parisian bakery. Here's Sweet Green. Healthy but expensive meal options in there, if I must say. Mr. Broadway Kosher Restaurant. This place I haven't really recognized it as much before. I always passed by it and didn't think much of it. But I guess now with fewer stores open, like this one's vacant as well, you're noticing the ones that are still open a lot more. That says Left Court Marlboro Building. Wonder if Marlboro is related to the cigarette company in any way. I think there's one of the few times I didn't notice a line for Shake Shack. Yet another retail space that's closed up. And here's the Macy's headquarters, famous department store. Right now they have the Macy's Flower Show going on. It's an annual event that happens for about 2 or 3 weeks. I've been inside the store already, and let me tell you, their displays this year are pretty nice. There's flowers everywhere, lots of beautiful smells. You really have to experience it to see it. So this is the Herald Square area. This over here is Herald Square, and to the south of me is Greeley Square. They named them so because there were two competing newspaper companies that were located here. The New York Herald, and Greeley was head of the New York Tribune. You can see even the Macy's Flower Show extends out into the plaza here. So here's the area I was talking about earlier where there was a lot of retail vacancies. That over there was the Gap. That closed before March 2020. Victoria's Secret also had problems. They closed up. And if you walk along 34th Street this way, you'll see more stores like Uniqlo closed up as well. Empire State Building itself used to be the tallest building in the world, also has retail space available on the ground level. It's very strange to see a lively city like New York City have so much vacancies in retail. This side of 34th Street didn't really get affected as much, I believe. Here's H&M. Feels like it's raining just a little bit. I don't feel the need to bring out the umbrella yet, but I may have to if it keeps continuing. So next block is full of scaffolding, but I want to check out how the Manhattan Mall is doing. Manhattan Mall used to be the headquarters for the JCPenney store. You can see there's a window here with black paper, so that probably used to be a retail space. Looks pretty quiet in there. Only the subway system is getting a lot of traffic, but the mall itself, pretty quiet in there. All right, let's cross the street here on 32nd Street, and we'll continue the walk down Broadway to the tip of Manhattan, South Ferry. So right here, 32nd Street between Broadway and 5th Avenue is a neighborhood called Koreatown. I walked through this block a few short moments ago. And it's pretty active even right now in the middle of the day. Here's Biao Sugar. No line since the last time I came here. The last time I came here, Biao Sugar had a good amount of people waiting in line for their bubble tea. Even over here, Nomad Tower has retail space available. But as you can probably guess, this tower is called Nomad Tower. We just entered another neighborhood called Nomad, named north of Madison Square Park. That's what it's short for. Construction elevator descending. I think this area on Broadway is going to be changing a lot once it's constructed. There's a lot of construction happening here between here and the Flatiron district. Most of these are hotels, I believe, that are going up. Unless they're going to change it to something else. Commercial work in progress. Really feels like this area will never stop constructing. Here's another building going up. Looks all modern with the glass construction. Yeah, right now I do need my umbrella, so it's a good time for me to take it out over here, where they use a traffic cone to cover up the base of the scaffolding. Well, it works for me. Umbrella, we're good. It was supposed to be a sunny day, as the forecast predicted about 2 days ago. Even a day ago it said it was going to be sunny, but it turned out to be an overcast day, and now it's raining a little bit. So I hope the rain doesn't last too long. Wait a second. That's strange. Because over here you got arrows pointing that way, and it seemed like you could walk over there. Let me walk on the other side of the street. I don't like to walk under all this scaffolding. But what are they constructing here? Let's take a look. Another modern building. Overturned garbage can. That needs to be put right side up again. All right, so what's going up over here is called the Ritz-Carlton Residences. Normally the Ritz-Carlton, I think, is a luxury hotel, but they're calling these residences. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a hotel or residences, or maybe both. That could happen. Hotels sometimes have both residences and hotels. Here's 28th Street. If I were to go that way along 28th Street, I'll be walking through the Flower District. And it's called the Flower District because there's many plants available for sale along the Flower District. There's many florist businesses and landscaping places. So you can find a lot of plants, flowers, trees, you name it, you can find in the flower district. Here's another sweet green location. Here's another commercial building going up. Here we have the Smith. Looks like a fancy restaurant. They sure have a lot of alcohol on the wall there. I'm not even sure if they need all this outdoor heating, and I'm even afraid to walk near there in case the flames catch hold of my umbrella. Seems to be quite a popular place though. That's good. And it feels like the rain stopped, so I can close this up now. Here's another structure that's being worked on, La Pecora Bianca. Actually looks like a classical building. All right, so here I'm in the Flatiron district, named after the Flatiron building over there, which is being renovated. The Flatiron building was one of New York's earliest prominent skyscrapers, and they're being converted into residences, luxury residences. So maybe one day there'll be places to rent or buy in the Flatiron building. Now, there's another name for this area called Madison Square. And I find that Flatiron district, Madison Square, they both overlap with each other. You've got many prominent buildings over here on the side here. Here you have the New York Life building, which I believe was the original location of Madison Square Garden before it moved uptown. And over here we have the Metropolitan Life buildings along with its clock tower, which is pretty significant in the area. Across the street from me, Madison Square Park. It's a famous gathering spot and a little less busy than Union Square Park. I find this area to be more family friendly, I should say, compared to Union Square's younger crowd. Here's Worth Square. One of the few places in New York City with an obelisk in the middle. Let's cross over the street here so we can get into the Flatiron Plaza here and continue on Broadway. Right now I'm looking down towards Fifth Avenue. This is where Fifth Avenue and Broadway cross over each other. Here we have Italy with a stand over here. Looks like they have a bunch of food options and drinks, along with gelato too. You can even get gelato here. It's actually smart for Italy to come over here because they also have a location across the street there. It gives them a lot of visibility. Many people, when they come down here, they see the Flatiron building, they come down this area to take pictures, and they don't bother to look to the right to see Italy. So we're going to walk across the street here next to the Flatiron building. This is 23rd Street. That way, if you go all the way west, you'll head towards the Chelsea Piers. And going that way, you'll head towards Peter Cooper Village, I believe, is the northern boundary of 23rd Street. So the very tip of the Flatiron building is the T-Mobile store. Also looks like the Flatiron Plaza area over here just got its road resurfaced. Take a look at some of these architectural details on the Flatiron building. Oh, look at this. I didn't even know this was going to be coming to New York City, but here we have a Harry Potter store coming. Nope, don't go. Almost witnessed a car crash there with a pedestrian. That's why I don't like to walk with no visibility. Wizarding World of Harry Potter New York opens on June 3rd. So maybe all your Muggle needs will be satisfied here, as well as all your wizarding needs. Looks like this space is available too now. Le Pen Quotidienne. No longer here. Wait, did Le Pen Quotidienne move to the corner here of 21st and Broadway? Could be. It's actually looking pretty good right now. I have to say, when I did this walk about 2 years ago, even at this time of day, there'll be a lot more people walking around. There isn't the same kind of activity and life in the city anymore. Not sure what's going to happen over there at the Herman Miller store. Got 901 Broadway. Looks like this whole area may be for lease. One of the most beautiful and iconic buildings in Manhattan. So we're just about to cross over into the Union Square area. Wow, even more retail space available here at 881 Broadway. Another beautiful building. This used to be a Walgreens. It's amazing how much retail space is available just walking along Broadway. I mean, I had an idea that there was a lot of retail space available, but I didn't know that it was this pronounced until I walked it for myself.
Yes, thank you.
Here's Paragon Sporting Goods, the well-known sporting goods store. All right, we've approached the Union Square area. Union Square, famous for being a gathering place for many of the colleges around here, especially NYU, Parsons, New School. They all come here. Let's walk through the Union Square Green Market. This is a farmer's market that normally comes to the area. It's pretty popular with the people here. fresh produce, brown eggs. You can see there's many food options available here and grocery options. You can get your own lavender plant for $8. I think that's a pretty good price. Here's Andrew's Honey, locally produced honey and other bee products. She-Wolf Bakery. Organic breads baked by the sun. 2 breads, $8 only. It's a very good price for the breads. Do need to put my umbrella back up. Many of these vendors, they start wrapping up if the weather gets too extreme, but I think they should be okay. They're just putting a tarp over their products.
Yeah, grab as many as you need.
These artists, especially if they're working with sensitive materials, they need to cover their works of art. So we're approaching 14th Street here. Wow, Whole Foods Market, most of the letters are gone. I wonder why they didn't replace them, or maybe they are. It says Old Ark. So Broadway crosses over here. Once we cross over 14th Street, we'll be in the neighborhood of Noho, which is short for north of Houston Street, and south of Houston Street is called Soho. Got the famous chocolatier, Max Brenner restaurant here. Regal Cinemas, Union Square across the streets on the corner. I want to cross over the street here just so I can get a closer look at the Strand bookstore on the corner there. Strand bookstore is the largest bookstore in New York City. Here's a unique little store you don't really see too often. Forbidden Planet. Looks like they got a lot of Star Wars type stuff, books, Terminator. Strand bookstore.
So sorry, baby. Yeah, I've had that.
Another building going up above me, commercial building. Across the street there's a vintage clothing store, the Metropolis. And there's a long line for whatever store this is. It says Flight Club. Oh, it's a long line for shoes. That's what it is. Another unique looking building coming up. Here's the beautiful Grace Church. It's a good thing I went back to get my umbrella. I didn't think it was going to rain at first, but that person that I just passed kind of just sighed and said, if it rains, it rains. You're stuck in it, and that's what happens. Grace Church. $175 years of Grace Church in Greenwich Village. That's a long time. Go over to this side. Looks kind of narrow up there to squeeze by with an umbrella as well. Looks like it's pretty quiet over here too. A lot of space available over here. Walls across the street. That even looked like it used to be Citibank. Same thing happening on this corner too. And this is one of the areas where I at least expect to see a lot of vacancies because this is right near NYU. NYU, New York University, is just down the block there. Another retail space available. What the heck happened up there? I saw that lady just swing at him. Now they're kind of just pushing each other. Hope it was on friendly terms. That just seems kind of odd to me. Yeah, they look friendly. Just a strange way of greeting people. There's Astor Place. Going that way is Cooper Square. You also find the Alamo, the cube-looking structure where you can spin around, and also St. Mark's Place. Pretty hopping area for nightlife. Here's a really awesome place, the Donut Pub. It even smells so sugary and savory as I walk past it. Feels like the rain is letting up a little bit, so with any luck I could close this umbrella up. Here's the NYU bookstore. I think there's one of the few places of NYU that I could walk in as a member of the public and not be forced to exit because they require ID. Here's the NYU Physics building, Andre and Bella Meyer Hall of Physics. Looks pretty impressive. Another store papered up. I don't think I'll need to put this umbrella up anymore. The rain calmed down a lot. Yet another place. It really makes me see for myself that New York City's recovery is going to take a very long time. I thought there would be more places open around here, but seems like it's going to take a while. Even GNC retail space available. And this whole area is just so quiet too, with many of the NYU students attending classes remotely. We're fast coming upon Soho, the famous shopping districts in New York City. Another retail space. I actually thought Soho would be worse off than Noho, just because over here there's more office workers and the NYU students, and Soho I feel is more dependent on tourism. And I've walked through Soho many times before, but let's see how it's doing now on a Monday weekday afternoon. I like what they did with this building here and made some art.
Hey, ActionKid.
Yo, what's up, man? It's twice in one video I got recognized. Granted, it is one of the longer ones I'm doing. Urban Outfitters. Even looks very urban with many unpainted walls and columns on the outside of the store. Here we've got Best Buy. Here's Adidas, named after the founder Adi Dassler in Germany. Here's Soho. Well, once I cross over the street, it's Soho, but this is Houston Street. You go all the way down the west, that's the Greenwich Village. That way you'll head towards the East Village and Lower East Side. Also, Katz's Delicatessen is located all the way down there as well. Famous Jewish deli. Here's a space that looks like it's being worked on. Yeah, this store for lease as well. Here we got scaffolding being installed. Silver Cup scaffolding. I think scaffolding is the business to get to in New York City. Another store for rents. I guess with not many people around, I'm noticing a lot more of the closed stores all along Broadway. But Soho is hurting as well. Just not as much as the other places I've been to.
Now, when you put it in, sometimes they jump up like that, right?
There's the Prince Street subway station.
That's what comes to well.
Well, that was an aggressive person crossing the street. Not much shopping happening right now. Middle of the day. Hey, what's up? You're the third person I've noticed on this walk.
Man.
Yeah,
Pleasure, bro.
take it easy.
Sick, man.
All right, I'm headed all the way down to South Ferry. All right. Banana Republic, otherwise known as Gap Premium. I don't even know if there is a Gap store in Soho anymore. Here's the Uniqlo store in Soho. The one I mentioned on 34th Street, Herald Square area, is closed. But the Soho location and the one on 5th Avenue and 53rd Street, those are the most well-known Uniqlo stores. $3 for $10 tacos. That actually looks like a good deal.
You want to put them in the pram jacket?
Sounds like someone's looking for the bus behind me. Here we've got some more retailers. Lululemon, athletic wear. Here's the All Saints store. Here we've got Bloomingdale's, and I actually need to pause the video here just to use the restroom. Let's finish the rest of this walk now, all the way to South Ferry. Here we have one of the more famous buildings in Soho. Famous because it was the first to use the Otis elevator. It says their elevator. But the Otis elevator building looks like it's vacant right now. Soho is also known as the cast iron district, just because of the buildings around here. They were made in the cast iron style architecture. It's very easy to heat up this iron and make it into this type of design, and it looked pretty nice, so that's why a lot of this architecture is built in that style. A cute little dog. Got Grand Street here. Oh wow, there's a Wells Fargo bank coming here. Wells Fargo is not really too prominent in New York City. NYC Arts Empire says we're open, but the store itself looks closed. Wow, all along here. 2 stores available. There's another one, office space available. But this store here, Starbucks, this is a new store. I haven't seen this before. I think that Starbucks store should do okay here. Another store, retail for lease. And look across the street. There's a lot of vendors there set up on the sidewalk selling bags, purses, and other articles of fashion. Many of those items are replicated to try to be like the original, but they're definitely not the same quality. Here's the Canal Street subway station, located right now on the border of Chinatown and Tribeca. Tribeca stands for the triangle below Canal Street, although it looks more like a trapezoid when you look at the shape. Looks very busy on Canal Street, much more busy than the other streets of Manhattan that I've walked past. Most of it is due to the bridge and tunnel traffic.
How much?
Oh wow, this is going to be leased out to a TV production company or a movie studio. Levi's and Calvin Klein, also store for rent. Here we've got Blue Bottle Coffee to my left.
the idea that there isn't any of that stuff was right.
Certainly a lot of construction happening in the Tribeca area. Lots of scaffolding. I see wooden planks in front of these windows and the glass. Makes me wonder what's going on over here. Maybe a wooden plank is in order for that window, which is smashed. It's a lot of traffic for this small street. Got the Harley Davidson reopening sale going on. Not sure if they'll sell motorcycles here. It looks like it's just apparel and accessories. Over here we've got 368 Broadway. Actually, no, I think this might be it as well. 368 Broadway. Home of the famous Casey Neistat studio and space. Casey Neistat was one of the pioneers of internet, like modern vlogging. He had a very unique style that no one really did before. We're fast approaching the Civic Center area of Manhattan because there's a lot of governmental buildings here, courthouses, the City Hall is here, the Manhattan Municipal Building. We'll see it as we walk past. Here's Catherine Lane. It's also home to a parking garage. Looks like that's the only thing that looks kind of interesting down that block is that parking garage. This used to be the UPS store. Now it's retail space available along with this one over here. Well, that's very nice. Looks like I'm forced to cross over the street here because that gate is closed. There's always been a lot of construction down here on Wharf Street. This project replacing the waters and the water mains and the sewers here is taking forever. I think this over here is the Federal Building. No, it's this one. This is the Federal Building. It was underneath that building over there where they found a lot of people buried underneath. Many of them were of African American descent. So they made a memorial right next to it called the African Burial Ground. Oh, before I can't see it anymore. There you see the top of the Manhattan Municipal Building, the yellow statue, that's called Civic Fame. There's Duane Streets, and there's a Duane Reade on Duane Streets. And Reade Street is just a block away from me. The original Duane Reade operations building started here. That's why it's called Duane Reade. Duane Street and Reade Street. Big dumpster coming out. Let's go around it. It's funny, this used to be Radio Shack, but they kept the name up there. Now it's a Royal Green Appliance Center and a Potbelly restaurant. And then on the corner here, this used to be Modell's, but Modell's declared bankruptcy and closed all their stores. So now that space is available for lease. was it? Private? Here's Chambers Streets, Manhattan Municipal Building over there. The Tweed Courthouse, named after the infamous Boss Tweed, who stole a lot of money from the New York City public. Probably the greatest scandal ever to hit New York City at that time. A lot of people here waiting for the express bus to Staten Island. Sounds like there's a demonstration across the street. Let's go check it out in front of the City Hall building. Of course, if there's going to be a demonstration, this is probably the place to find it. Hey look, the Modell's name is still on the first floor there, but that's going to change soon. They're protesting something. Maybe it's a union group. Let's see what it is. Tenant rights. Sounds like people, understandably at this time, having trouble paying their bills and rents. All throughout this past year, it's been very tough on people to afford even the basic necessities such as shelter. And as we saw just walking down Broadway, it's not only the little people too, but a lot of the big brands, they've closed up shop in Manhattan. And we see a lot of vacant retail spaces. And all throughout this walk, it's been much quieter than usual. Here's the Woolworth Building, neo-Gothic skyscraper, which also used to be the tallest building in the world. As soon as I pass over Vesey Street, I'll be entering the last neighborhood of my walk, which is the Financial District, also colloquially called Wall Street. Wall Street Financial District. They mean the same thing in New York. And over here, Park Row, there's a lot of construction happening over here. Park Row at one time used to be famous for its newspaper industry because of its proximity to local government, City Hall, and also the bustling Lower East Side, where most of the New York population lived. This actually looks dangerous. The curb looks like it needs some work repaired over there. All right, Financial District. St. Paul's Chapel over here. Oldest religious building in Manhattan, which still serves its original function. Seems like there's more people right now walking around the financial district than there was in Soho. And even Times Square, there wasn't really that many people out.
Hello?
Here we've got the $1.3 billion Fulton Center transportation hub. This also connects directly to the World Trade Center complex to my right. And speaking of which, there's the One World Trade Center building. A lot of construction happening in Wall Street area as well, or in the Wall Street area, I should say. Here's John Street. John Street looks really quiet at this time. Here's Century 21, which closed up.
Hey, ActionKid!
Hey, hey, what's up?
Love you.
Thank you. Going all the way to South Ferry.
All right, enjoy.
All right.
Stay dry.
That was the fourth group of people I saw today down this walk of Broadway. Here we've got Maiden Lane. If you keep going down that way, you'll get to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Here's a Gap store, but this location's closed. Actually, it looks pretty empty in here. Besides the mannequins, those are the only clothing items available in the store. It's all cleared out.
Hey, a question for you. When are you closing this out?
Another store that's empty. Looks like this skyscraper is undergoing some renovations as well. Or maybe just this entrance over here, this side. There's plenty of food trucks here available for the workers who come down here. I think this area over here is pretty popular. A bunch of people waiting there for their food. It's actually a pretty neat photo. I'm walking right next to the, gosh, so much noise. People are so impatient. Right next to 120 Broadway, which created the setback laws for the new skyscrapers being built up. Because this skyscraper took away a lot of the sunlight, the New York City government said we can't have this anymore. The skyscraper has to get narrower as it goes higher to let more sunlight come into the rest of the city. So that's why many of the modern skyscrapers have a wedding cake style design. Here we have Trinity Church. Famous church which has been like reconstructed at least 4 times, I believe. The previous 4 churches, they all burned down. Now here's Wall Street. Wall Street, home of the New York Stock Exchange to my left, as well as Federal Hall. So gloomy to be walking under this structure. Sounds like I just missed the Trinity Church bells going off. What the heck is going on? Someone's excited. Coming into the home stretch now of this walk. Not much more left to the rest of Broadway. Let's see if there's a crowd of people waiting to take a picture at the Wall Street Bull. And there are. Officially, the statue's name is called Charging Bull. I think the artist's name is Arturo Demodica, or Demonica. I think it's Demodica. But it was actually a rogue piece of artwork that was allowed to stay, and now it's up here for everybody to enjoy. And you always got people over here waiting to get a picture
Your locality.
from the front and the back. Let's go by and check it out. That's funny. There's no line for the back right now. This is the iconic shot right here. I don't know why people come here to touch the behind, but supposedly I guess it brings good luck. Maybe that's all superstition. Here we have the oldest park in New York City, still with the original fence, mind you, but Bowling Green Park, oldest public park in New York City. Hey, what's up? You're the fifth group of people I recognized who recognized me walking down here. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I walked all the way down here from Times Square. Yeah.
Good distance.
I know.
Yeah, we're here from California. So
Wow.
we follow you all the time, so we're like, hey, let's see where you're going. And well, we just ran into you, right? Randomly.
Yeah.
I know.
I run into everybody.
you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Well, have fun on
All
your
right,
vacation,
man. Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Well, the tourists are still coming to New York City. Here we've got the old United States Customs House. Now it's a Native American museum and a U.S. bankruptcy court. But way back when, this Customs House was located on the very tip of Manhattan, and Broadway is actually going to end very shortly. But this Customs House, it checked all the goods coming into the harbor of New York because it was so convenient. Right behind it was water. But in the present day, everything behind this Customs House is all landfill now, all the way up to the Staten Island Ferry, which is where I'm going to be ending this video. Over here is the 2 Broadway building, home of the MTA, which runs the public transit system in New York. The U.S. Customs House even have their own subway entrance at Whitehall Street Station. It's in the basement. Not much activity going on this side of the financial district. There was a lot more by the Fulton Street area, but right over here, besides the Wall Street Bull, not too many people walking around. The overcast nature of today certainly didn't help either. Well, now this street turned into Whitehall Street. Thank you. All the other cars didn't wait for me, but that one. Oh wow, I was wondering why that person was posing here, because he got a unique camera angle from here. Really creative photography there. Here now at the intersection of State Street and Water Street, almost to the final destination of this walk at the Staten Island Ferry Terminal. Very popular tourist attraction. Many people come by and take the Staten Island Ferry just to see the Statue of Liberty and to say they set foot in Staten Island. But I don't find many tourists explore Staten Island after getting off the ferry. Here it's very advisable to wait for the light because you've got to turn here and it's hard to see what cars are coming from sometimes. Here's an express bus that's going to go into Staten Island. There's someone a little bit more bold. See why I wait for the light here? Something almost just went down over there. And with that, everybody, is the conclusion of this video from 49th Street and 7th Avenue, walking along Broadway all the way to South Ferry, Staten Island Ferry area. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button for me. Subscribe for some more videos like these, and I will see you next time. Take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching.